Okay, let's try this again. This is Sue Sanders. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lake Ozark, Missouri. This is my 3 on Thursday for February 2nd, 2023. It is the first one for February. I don't know where January went, but February is gone. And I mean, January's gone. February's just started. Seems like to me, though, that um, I don't know, the whole year. So welcome, everybody. If you are joining me live, leave a comment. If you are rewatching the recording, leave me a comment so that you can be entered in the drawing for the cards from last week. And let me grab those real quick and um, get those out. And we will pick a winner for that. Okay, take a deep breath. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Doesn't look like it's going to be a real good day for me Friday. And I'll explain that later. Hi, Cherie. Glad you could join us today. So I want to make something that's new with Stampin' Up, make you aware of it. Beginning March 1st, they are going to offer up some online exclusive products. So these are the exclusive products that as demonstrators, I can pre-order now, but there will be more to come in March. So you would need to visit my store, and that's SuzieQ.stampinup.net, and or if I'm already in your computer, you can just go to Stampin' Up and choose me as your demonstrator and be able to see what the exclusive products are going to be. And they're going to be doing this like every 3 months throughout the year. So that's something exciting that I am looking forward to. And I'm going to be pre-ordering those supplies here probably this evening. So one reason why I said that tomorrow may not be a very good day is I have 2 funerals to attend tomorrow. A friend of ours from church, his sister passed away, and so her funeral is tomorrow. And then my granddaughter, Audrey, her grandfather on her dad's side passed away on Monday. So they're having his funeral tomorrow. And to give support to Audrey, Dorothy and I will be attending that funeral in Jeff City. So here are the cards from last week. We made this fun pop-up card, fun fold, like this. And then we made this card here that there's nothing in the center of it, and it says for you with love. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Valentine's Day card. And then we have this fun fold card. Okay, and the winner of these 3 cards is Cindy McGee. So congratulations, Cindy, on winning those cards. Okay, make sure that when you are watching either the live or the recorded version, if you're watching in YouTube, subscribe to my channel, Suzie Q Stamping, and give me a thumbs up, make a comment, and you too can be added in to win the cards. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of cards today that we're not necessarily going to make them, but I wanted to show you because we had to come up with some sympathy cards. So here's a sympathy card that I made. It's really easy. It's a fun fold. Okay, and that's using some of that designer series paper, Nature's Prints, I think. But I love that paper. I need to look up the paper. Then this is a card that my assistant designed. And it's just a very simple sympathy card using the black and white penciled paper. It's this black and this is another one that I made, and it's just using a die cut from the Beauty of Friendship, and then an old stamp set that says So Sorry. So that's a couple of the sympathy cards that Dorothy and I put together this morning. All right, I am going to demonstrate one of the cards that my assistant designed for a sympathy card. And this is a very masculine card, so it works out really well to give to Audrey's dad. So this is the card. This way.
You've got this pushed up, Mama.
I've got my stand pushed up. Sorry, ladies. Now I can work closer to myself and not be there. Okay. So this is using the wave stamp. The inspiration Waves of Inspiration stamp set. So this stamp set here, and I haven't really done a whole lot with this. I love the stamp set, but I haven't really done a lot with it.
I think I've done more cards with the wave set.
Yes, my assistant has. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to emboss a piece of smoky slate with white embossing powder. She kind of got overzealous here with her overzealous. She didn't clean off her stamp very well, and she has some embossing powders on it. So let me give that a quick wipe off here. No, it's okay. All right. There is a glare, and I apologize, ladies, for the glare, but that's because of my stamp apparatus, but there's no way I could do this without it. She designed this one, but she failed to mark where I needed to place my paper at, so we're guessing at it here. I do apologize for my lack of being prepared. There's just been a lot of stuff going on today that I thought I was all good, and then I started something and time got away from me. This needs to be placed. Oh, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Pick up the stamp and move it to where I want it. Oh my gosh, what a lovely idea. Can you see? I told you, my brain is not working. So here's a funny story for you. I get a text message this morning, and it comes up from my contacts, and it says Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie. And she asked me if I wanted the pens. She goes, "Hi, this is Stephanie. Do you want to order those pens? I'm putting in an Amazon order." Well, I didn't remember Stephanie. And so I said, "Oh, no, not at this time," because I thought, I don't know what pens she's talking about. I don't even know who she is. So, no, I don't want to order any pens from you on Amazon. So she types back and she goes, "Okay, no problem." Well, then I just couldn't. I had to know who this Stephanie person was. So I typed back and I said, "I don't want to be stupid or anything, but how do I know you? And what pens are you talking about?" She came back with, "I came down with Nate on Saturday to your house." I said, "Oh, okay, my son's girlfriend." And it's like, silly me, because I had talked with her about doing a special project for me. And, but I could remember. So now I have her in my contacts as Nate's girlfriend, so that when Stephanie texts me, I know who it is. Well, that is just not, maybe it's not supposed to. I'm trying to get a real good stamp for my wave. Maybe that's not supposed to have that much in it. So we're gonna, oh, you know what I didn't do? Y'all didn't remind me, did you? You did not remind me to use my embossing buddy. So I'm gonna move that stuff aside. Well, at least that magnet hit the right thing and not the other magnet. All right. I Darth Vadered that ink, and we are going to hopefully make sure that I didn't get any excess Versamark on this. I always forget my embossing buddy. All right, let me heat set this real quick, and then we're going to trim it up so that it fits the card front. So I'm just letting my heat gun heat up for a few seconds. There, it starts to turn for me. I love to watch heat embossing take place. It is so cool. It turns this powder into this glossy. Okay, now that noisy thing is all done. We're gonna put away our embossing powder. All right. And I want to cut off just the bottom part of this and the sides of those, the waves just not out in the air. So we're just going to trim off about 1/4 of an inch. And then there we go. That way our wave is to edge. Hi, Terry. Is it nice and warm down in Florida? Because it's certain, I mean, it's warmer today than it has been, but it's not heat wave warm.
It's not freeze your water pipes.
But it's not freezing the water pipe, so that's a good thing. 75 there. Well, that's not too bad. Dorothy had her water pipes freeze the other day, but then they thawed out right away. So that's the base of our card. We are going to stamp with deepest sympathy on the outside. And I used a die cut from, I put the die set away. It will be in the tutorial that I post out on my blog, so that all this information will be out there, so you don't have to worry about. Just sit back and enjoy Sue making a fool out of herself today. That'll be just fine. So with deepest sympathy, I am using Night of Navy ink. And I only got one shot at this. So if I move it back here, I hope y'all can see it so that I can kind of. Okay. Don't want my head in the camera, but well, with deepest sympathies a little off. Okay. And we can't turn it over because there's stitching on this die. So we're just going to pretend to finish this card, and then I can redo it and have it perfected for you guys, okay? Which flower paper did you get, Terry? On the inside, we are going to stamp the pelican and the stamp that says sending healing thoughts your way. You know, sympathy cards are something that we don't really like to make, but I have found in the last month I have needed sympathy cards. So while I've got these sympathy sets out, I will be making several more of these sympathy cards because I know of one more person that will be passing away sometime. My mom's good friend Sandy has stage 4 cancer, so she is at the end, and I want to be prepared with a card. And then we're going to stamp sending healing thoughts your way. The dainty flowers, yes, I love that print. I'm gonna wipe off the side of my stamp. I got a little bit of ink there. Please be straight. It is. Good deal. At least I don't have to stamp that part again. You like that paper, Cherie, too? I love it. I'm really tempted to order more of it since it's only a free pack. But then I think, okay, what am I going to do with it after it's no longer available in February? Because it will go out. And I don't want to be a paper hoarder. So I probably will just make do with what I've got and not. All right, so this piece is going to get stuck down on the inside. So what's everybody been up to? Gotta put this around so that I can make sure I get it up right. I'm still fighting this cough. I will probably fight it the rest of my life. Okay. And we are going to attach this piece to the front. So this is a real simple, easy card, basic card layers, embossing, heat embossing, but you wouldn't have to. You could stamp it in ink. If you had some of the wave paper left, you could definitely use that. Okay, now I'm not going to stick this down because, like I said, I need to restamp that. But I've got a little piece of ribbon that is out of the new mini catalog, the Night of Navy. And then that little tab with the greeting is going to get stuck up with dimensionals. Okay, so that one is card number 1. Card number 2 is a fun fold masculine card. And you could do this. I made it a masculine card because I have an uncle who has a birthday in February. So that's why I made it a masculine card. This was an idea that I got off of Pinterest from Karen Titus. You're back in Sarasota for the next few weeks. Your cough is almost gone. Oh. You're unloading your card stuff there in Sarasota. How exciting. But you could make this envelope flap card into anything, like a birthday card, sympathy card, just because card, whatever. Just because. So, and I'm using that He's All That, the masculine paper from our catalog, where it's also got the die cuts. So I use the old-fashioned car and then the little scroll that says you're a classic. You open it up and I've got happy birthday, and then it folds open like this, and I'm going to put a great big birthday greeting on the inside for him. So this is the next card, and again, all of the measurements are going to be out online on my blog. You just got to give me time this week because I did not get it all done before coming online. All right, so what I do have is an 8.5. No, it's an 8 by 11. No, it's an 8 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4. That's going to be our card. Then I have a 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 triangle that I've scored down the center. And because it's designer series paper on both sides, you can choose whichever side you want. But since my cards would be going on an angle, I chose this little decorative. Then I do have a piece that is 5 by 3 3/4. That's going to go on the front of this piece. And then I took another piece of the designer series paper that they had in there, and I just, no, I did not. It was a die cut, and it had ripped edges. Well, I just took it and I measured it across my triangle so that it wouldn't show on the outsides of it. And I just kind of cut it off because that's going to go on underneath this. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to attach this triangle to the back of this piece of paper. So we're going to use our silicone mat, because you do want to make sure that you get in those corners really well. And this way, using the silicone mat, I don't have to worry about it sticking to my work surface. And I can just fold up the excess. So just an FYI, next week I will not be live on Thursday because I'm taking Dorothy and Audrey and we're going down to Branson for the week. But I am going to record a 3 on Thursday.
That's the plan.
That's the plan anyway. Then you're going to take and you're going to line up your card base in that triangle. And I lined it up too high to the crease. You got to leave a little bit of room, just a tiny smidgen, so that it folds over and it doesn't bind. So there, it's folded over there now. Now I'm going to take this piece, and I use different paper and didn't realize it, but that's okay. This still works out really good. Those cars are just on an angle, which is just fine because it gets lifted up. They're going up and down the hills. I'm going to apply this piece of paper. I don't know about you guys, but I am so ready for spring. So tired of winter. We're going to stamp happy birthday on this piece. And I'm doing that in early espresso. Cherie, I do have a host code. I just have not sent it out yet, but it will be sent out tonight. So be watching your emails for the host code for the club. So happy birthday right there in early espresso. And that's really all the stamping there is to it today until we get to the inside. So now let's go ahead and lay this down. And again, use your silicone mat so that you can get right up to those points for those points to get see, and then I could have used glue. I don't know why I didn't use glue. I should have. I think we'll just finish out with glue. And I could have tore the edges, but I wanted it to be on an angle. I didn't want those pieces to stick out. So now we're going to lay this right there at the top of that designer series paper. And then we flap it over, flip it over, and it does still show. So I need to I don't know why, because I measured that. So here's a trick for you. If you need to get something off, huff on it a little bit. And that moisture from your breath, especially if you've got a lot of hot air like me. This is not going to work, so we're going to leave it like this, and I will fix that for y'all. Because, see, it's hanging out, and I don't like that. So I will fix that portion of it for you. And then we've got our little old-fashioned car that we're going to stick down here, and we're going to use dimensionals to stick this up with. There they are. And you only need a couple there on the bottom because you want the top to be open. So I am using the black dimensionals. And I'm using about 3 of them, one on each wheel and one right in the center. Then you're going to lay this piece down so that it tucks that flap right there. And we're going to attach your classic right on here. Then you're going to attach this whole card. And this is Cajun Craze, because that's one of the colors that goes with this card base. Use our adhesive here. And if you remember, this came with a whole bunch of die sets or dies that were already pre-cut. So here is here is the card that Sue has totally put together backwards. Okay. Oh my gosh, I probably should have just canceled today. Probably should have just canceled today. All right, this is the way it should look, but I put it down like a regular card. Duh. Okay.
No.
Yes, I did, because I needed to flip it around and have, okay. So, Sue's a silly person today, okay?
We'll fix it.
But I will fix it, because this is a really cute card, because you unfold it here, and then you fold this part down. That's the fun fold of it. Hi, Teresa Caps, how are you? You're just in time to see me make a fool out of myself. No problem. So, if you did this card correctly, it would open up like this. I did not, however, on my lovely one from today. It opens up not like this. Okay, that's card number 2. Mess up number 2, but we will fix it. Guess what? I have a really easy one. I don't think I can mess up on this one, okay? I really don't think I can mess up on this next card. We are doing it on shimmer white, white on white. And I have a special lady that is in Kansas City. She's another demonstrator that I've gotten to know, and I really appreciate Davita and things that she does to help me. So she loves purple, so I decided that I'm going to make her a thank you card and send it to her. So this is, like I said, it's a very easy card. I shouldn't be able to mess this up because I've already messed this one up already once, okay? So I'm using the shimmer white on shimmer white, all right? And the first thing that we're going to do, and I'm using the hand pen petals, I'm using the greeting thanks, and then I'm using the die cut that would die cut this bunch of flowers, but I'm not stamping the flowers, okay? So remember I said, well, I messed up earlier. I also used adhesive sheets. And when I laid the adhesive sheets down, my brain was working, okay, let's just do this die cut like I'm supposed to, wherever my die cut went. Oh, there it is. And I laid the die cut upside down. So what I did was, this is the sticky side. This is the peel off paper. Okay. So this was the sticky side, but it was backwards to my die cuts. It was like, okay, that was really silly of me because I didn't have sticky then to lay the die cuts down. They were backwards. So I've already messed up that one. So take my word for it, double check. Here is another piece of the shimmer white with the adhesive sheet on the back that I die cut correctly. Okay. And I did not die cut the second one. So my assistant's going to run that through the die cut machine for me real quick. And I'm going to start on doing this. So I'm just getting scratch paper here, and I am using, oh my goodness. I had to reset my phone up. Huh? I didn't break anything. I just dropped something. Okay. All right. I'm going to use Highland Heather And I'm using one of our new mini blending brushes. And I'm just going to pick up some Highland Heather ink. It needs to be run through at least 3 times, please. 3 or 4. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that to you. Make sure that I don't have any big blobs, and I'm just going to start inking in an area towards the right-hand side. To lay down some color. I seen this done, and I don't remember by who on YouTube, and I thought that is such a pretty simple white on white card, and sometimes white on white is just really pretty. So Teresa Caps, how are you doing down in Florida? I hope you're feeling good. And you can always lay down more, but you can't take it away. So as soon as my lovely assistant does my die cut, we'll see how it
Move.
She does not like die cutting. She's just informed me of that. Which is quite all right. It's not everybody's thing. It is my thing. I like to die cut. I'd much rather die cut than fussy cut. Now we're just going to take and I have the old-fashioned one. The new
Your
one.
assistant has the new one.
My assistant has the new one.
She doesn't like the die cut.
Because she doesn't like to die cut. But she has the new little bristle brush that goes on the end of the take your pick tool. But this will help get all those little bits out of there. Or most of them out of there. What doesn't come out, I'm going to cover it by ink because I'm liable to stick my hand in it. I can't believe I'm so far off my game today. Must be because I'm not a Chiefs fan. So how about those Chiefs, everybody? Going to the Super Bowl. I am sure so many people are so excited. How many of you watch the Super Bowl? And I think those bits will come out when I take off that sticky backy. I quit watching the Super Bowl a long time ago when the halftime shows became so, in my opinion, nasty. Sorry, I can't handle all that stuff. Okay, so let's check out and see. You watch the Super Bowl for the commercials? Jerry Jackson's going to be watching Go Chiefs. Yep. All right, so let's see how that looks on our purple. Can y'all see that okay? Do you think it needs to be a little bit darker, or do you like the lighter color? Here's the lighter. Here's the one that I made that was darker. So there's darker. And there's the lighter one. What do you all think? Okay, darker. Darker. We're going to go darker. Now what do you think? Darker yet? There's the example. And there's this one. Still a little bit darker. I have to go darker now. I had ink on my finger. I think I can fix that. Because I can lay a piece of the die cut over that area. Excuse me. All right, now strategically, we are going to lay this piece. See if I have another thick piece. I'm trying to cover up that blob and still stay within my and I think I can do it that way. Take out that little bit. I really do like the adhesive sheets to put on these intricate dies so that you don't have to try to glue them down. The other good thing about it is those little extra pieces that I couldn't get poked out, they come out with that adhesive sheet. So that always makes it nice, but you do want to run it through a couple of times just to make sure that it's getting a good cut. So we are going to, there we go. We fixed that mistake by covering up that blob of purple. And now we're going to just take our thanks stamp, wherever I've got it. Here we go. I'm going to use my Stampin' pad here. I think I'm going to start a GoFundMe page. Can you guess what it's going to be for? One of them she sheds so that I have more room. All right, we are going to stamp thanks up here. Press that down. And I didn't decorate the inside because I'm going to write her a personal note for all that she's done. And then I am going to put the shimmer white up on dimensionals. As soon as I can find my big dimensionals. Yes, I'm going to have to get them out. No, I just need to get a new package out.
Here, just use this.
My assistant gave me hers. Now she thinks I'm going to have to owe her a whole package.
Whole package for that.
Just
little
for this
corner?
little corner. Yep, that's how she rolls. She lets me borrow something, but then I have to replace it with a whole package of something.
That's not true.
Could be.
Sometimes.
And I do want to use quite a few around the corners because I don't want this to sag. And I figure, heck, postage has gone up. I may as well just really pop them suckers up and get my dollar's worth. I could have also used the strips of adhesive, but I was too lazy to get them out of the drawer. I know, today's just been one of them days. There we go. So I have half a sheet of,
Fourth, just a fourth.
just a fourth a sheet of dimensionals. On my example one, I used my skeleton bones. Come on, get off of there. Because I don't throw those away. Some people do. And I'd like to tell them we'll send them to me because I will be happy to use skeleton bones from my dimensionals. Yeah, so give me a little while today to get our video posted because I have to take pictures and get the tutorial wrote up. So now we're going to get this laid on that white as straight as possible so you can see the definition of it in there. So that is card number 3. So does anybody have any questions today about anything? Do you all understand the online exclusive stamp sets that are going to become available March 1st? And I will be sending that information out in my newsletter. I'll also post it on Facebook on my Facebook page. I'll go out and watch if y'all go to my blog, I posted a video out there on Tuesday about how I'm organizing my dies. Yes, Terry, this is a very simple card, but it looks so pretty. And it is one that you could dress up if you wanted to. I mean, I could add the pearls to it. I could add ribbon to it. But I just kind of like it plain and just white on white. So it doesn't have to be real fancy. Sometimes I think simple is good. So let me bring out the 2 messed up cards. Except I'll bring out the examples that are the good ones. And you can see all of them. And I really like all the cards today because none of them were really that hard, except if you don't know your own directions like me and you mess it up. So here's a birthday card. It's a fun fold. Open it up, fold it down, put your flap back underneath your old-fashioned card. Here's one that's made with the wave set that was embossed with white for a sympathy card. And then here's a simple thank you card. Yes, this one could be a sympathy card very easily, Cherie. So you all will have to mark on your calendars the last Monday in March. I don't know what date that is because my assistant hasn't changed my calendar yet.
What day are we looking at?
The last Monday in March, or in February, I'm sorry.
27th.
So February 27th, mark your calendars. We are going to do our Mystery Monday. Clue number 1 is already out there, but I will repost it and resend an email. They were really cute cards, and so therefore I decided that since no one showed up Monday night, that I would just keep that one and do it in February because they weren't necessarily for any particular holiday. So mark your calendars for February 27th, and I will open the Zoom room at 7:45. I'm trying to do something different to where I can have more people come and just come in and they don't need to have a link necessarily. So we'll be checking that out. But I'll let everybody know what the deal is for that. So watch next week. Tuesday, I will have another recorded tip for you on organizing die cuts or dies. And then on Thursday, it will be a recorded 3 on Thursday. So stay healthy, safe, and warm, and I will see you all later. Bye.